Present day. Present time.
I love how this is just like one of the there's some random task. Okay. We got a lot to do. I don't want to talk to Everett again. I don't like Everett. I don't want to work with Everett. I don't want to be involved with Everett. That guy's smuggling drugs, and not only is he smuggling drugs, he's also trying to kick people out of their homes. Again, one of the big criticisms I've seen about this game has been, everybody is really trying to just push you into this direction, to do this. You're a super communist, and this game is so communist leaning, and it really portrays, people on the right as being bad. And it's like, fair enough. The right wing individuals in this game have been portrayed as just being racists, period, full stop. But at the same token, it's like, look at the socialists and the socialist democrat groups as well, who have almost exclusively been portrayed as being what? Scumbag assholes who do what? Who are looking to just start.
Work. Right to work. Honest men and women with
Yep.
rights to work, to be useful. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If union fucks don't want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy. We were promised work. We'd be in there, working. Main gate's locked. It'll take heavy ordnance to bust it open. And I don't mean the scrawny mess bunk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Yeah? That giant up there on the bridge you talked to. Head measurer. Won't let the workers but bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategic... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer. Why don't you go arrest them?
It would be better for the neighbor.
No! They will.
Okay. This one's a bit tough. We don't have a lot of options, and I'll just say that bluntly. We do not have a lot of options left. We've done our due diligence, I feel, to really kind of get us ahead, but like, yeah, things are just not Alright, let's talk,
A
friend.
thin man is smoking below an exhaust. As you step in, he nods toward the table, and it must be his name. Garancy Quebec. The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Alright, so the guy doesn't speak English. Fantastic. And I'm assuming that this guy is not going to speak to me until I pay him back.
A man in his... Could he be irritated with you?
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation.
What's that supposed to mean? Probably. And I don't like the dead body that's been hanging out there for a week. No.
Sir, I understand your concern.
Yes, of course.
For a moment, the man fidgets under the lieutenant's gaze.
I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene, but it also took you a while to call us. It was you who placed the call, correct?
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here.
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes...
But you still know your way around.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? She went away because none of your business.
Oh wow, you're a
That's
real nice guy.
fine.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk.
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
Oh, you don't owe me shit. Well, officer, you're right.
We do not need to assert ourselves here. We only need instructions from him. This is the proprietor.
You know, I get this all the time. Some hobo comes in here or some backpacking arsehole off the boat.
Uh-huh.
The next day, when they can't make their fees, they get aggressive. I just never thought I'd be in this shit with a cop.
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him!
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilate. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. You can't arrest me. I haven't done anything.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I don't want to do that.
What are you, brain damaged? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend. And
There's a shuffle of nylon as Lieutenant Kitsuragi look. That's cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't.
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away. No, don't. There's no need. You really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car.
I don't want to
Call
talk to
them,
him. I don't want to
ask for
talk to him.
assistance.
Good luck.
I'm not gonna do that.
By the way, where is home? But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You had to in time or space? That doesn't
Both.
sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. Entertain the thought when you get the time. Maybe being a hobo and a cop.
Hobo cop. Hobo cop. Let's start internalizing hobo cop. Alright, alright, alright. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. Jeez Louise, there's quite a bit we've done today. I know, she's a sweetheart, and she's gonna help me, but I'm not gonna bother that poor woman. Not right now. I've got more important things to take care of. I think my next step is to talk to Joyce. And that's gonna be the last thing I do. I think I'm actually gonna stop playing this game as well. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not that this game is bad. This game is definitely not for me though. There's a number of moments where I really feel like just, you know, completely out of my element. And not in a good way. I really feel as though, you know, there's not much going on here for me in a positive way, and I'm really struggling to figure out what to do next.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy. Look at that lady. Take a gander. Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity. While dull, now look at you. You're poor. Poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too. Shame?
No.
You haven't really been in the presence of gentlefolk either, have you?
No.
What shame is there to be felt? Oh God, the lieutenant is here too.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask. On the contrary, officer, there are yet camioners you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would... I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM...
But I am derailing us. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice...
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped... Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd...
And when did you first...
I arrived 3 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here.
Oh.
I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
So it seems as though this fat socialist is just a stupid, greedy jerk dickhead that, you know, puts on a front and says, oh, I need to do more for the community, when in reality the only thing he's doing is fucking robbing people, drugging his community, and kicking people out of his community. What a scumbag.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Yeah, what a surprise.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions,
Yeah?
including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put... Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board. In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board. Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinique
What a
terminal.
joke, man.
Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
Great question.
I first heard it from the boyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, call me mañana.
This checks out.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret.
It's implied. She's open to discuss.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen.
You can say
and
that
I
again.
deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over.
Yeah, what a surprise.
It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution.
Yeah.
20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it in...
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we are forced to cope.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only... And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the union.
Oh.
She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Indeed. The company suspects foul play, but there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, man. We'll be just fine.
Thank you.
Of course. How else can I help? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare?
Finally, time to choose sides.
Thank you. See, my brain gets it.
Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself.
Oh.
However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not...
Tell her she'll like.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Oh my.
The lieutenant does not say anything, but you hear the nylon of his jacket rustle as he looks at you.
That's good to hear, Detective. Police work is rarely pretty.
Frankly, what was done was not pretty at all, but neither was it illegal. And it was not for nothing.
This seems serious.
I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Okay, this is a big question. So she wants to know the information of what Everett told us. We need to be very selective about the information that Everett told us, even though he wants us to. So the Union's militant wing organized the lynching. We don't want to give her that information. Everett asked the Wild Pines, says the Wild Pines sent mercenaries after the Union and now one's dead. The man whose door I opened planned to write an article into a local paper. Everett asked the Union's militant wing to fully cooperate with the investigation. He doesn't seem at all worried about the whole conflict that's developing. Let's go with that.
I wouldn't have taken Everard for a saber rattler. Was he surrounded by Union men he wanted to impress? Or he wants you and me to believe he's calm and in control. He's a politician.
There's always that risk, man. But if I may offer my opinion, he means it.
I'll think it over, Detective. Thank you for relaying this information to me.
This gave her pause. She's pensive suddenly. Hard to say about what.
What you've said is quite enough. You've given me a lot to consider, and may have helped me prevent this conflict from escalating.
I doubt it.
Oh. That's...
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can see it. His jaw muscle is trembling. When I
Fuck
said
it.
be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible and damaging to the RCM.
This can work in our favor, because I don't like that other guy.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people.
incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else? Oh,
The lieutenant, when I
incredible. Simply, yes.
Please don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you were here to assist.
Uh-huh.
Your other dealings with Everard are still of considerable...
the lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
No. No. Well, what's interesting is she said that there were other drivers that I didn't talk to. That kind of intrigues me, because who the fuck is she talking about? Who did I miss? Oh.
Vigilance officer, what can this old carabinier do for you? Yes, the Debardeurs Union pays me to stand vigil during the nights. I'm an old man.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
She is nobody.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since no one. The boss has been unmanned since last Monday.
No one has been guarding the container.
Yes. It's...
Look, officers, the container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that boost bit.
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to disrupt.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words.
Look, officer, can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up anyway.
I have really outdone myself.
Yes, that's what you need, Gaston. More
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Oh, sweet Jenny. She was the finest woman in all of Revachol.
Do not defile her memory, Gaston.
His tone lacks its usual intensity, like he doesn't feel he has the right to speak on the matter.
She died of pneumonia 2 winters ago. René and I were both by her bedside when
That's nice.
Died.
she departed.
A quick grimace of pain passes over René's features, but he immediately regains control.
We knew her, all right. Lived on the same street our entire lives,
Aw.
just 2 houses apart. The 3 of us, she was René's first girl, back when the prick was 16.
And then you stole her from me.
Well, technically, you stole her from me, because we'd been pretty close ever since.
We were just boys then. This was no point starting this all over again. For this...
Of course, officer. Memories are all we have left.
Hmm.
Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week, but that's all I know, really. No, officers,
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with your ghost caviar in the Union.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Respect!
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of Union prick he can't even speak
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. Everyone in Martinez knows the Clare brothers. I told this.
What do you know about history?
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I knew that. I hate this socialist rabble, but even siding with them is better.
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written, and I happen to have a way with words. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple. You should be ashamed of yourself.
On the Union track? No, thank you. For being...
Very interesting.